The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. I cannot believe this is the final show of June of 2023, June 29th. We are having just a red letter here for Topic Time in my 13th year. My 13th anniversary is coming up in less than 2 months, and on and on we go. And today we're going back to Nashville, and I love this backdrop behind me at the local library, and I have a woman that's a comic creator, and we're going to talk about that. She has a comic strip of collection called Worthy Chaos, and you can see behind her, she has some pretty cool backdrops there, which is like my second comic strip show for me here in Easton in a week. But before I get to her, I got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we got Sweezy Fence Erectors in Whitman. We got Autotown Auto Glass and Auto Body in Abington. We got Fadeologist 101 Barbershop in Brockton. We got 111 Tattoo Collective in Brockton. We got One Good Credit in Brockton. We got Uplifted Nutrition in Taunton. We got Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got the Cornerstone Barber Shop in Pembroke. We got Lynch's Towing, Auto Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. Always looking for new scrap metal wheels, anything my pal Lynchy in Brockton can handle. We can do it there. We got Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts on the installation and removal of quartz and granite. We got Easton Fitness and the Village Shops in Northeastern. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Doggy Boutique, all-breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next-door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We got the Gunrunner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough. We got R.W. Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years, and we got Joe's Diner in Taunton. I want to thank you guys very much. And now officially, this is Corissa Grant. I related to General Grant of the Civil War win.
No, I married into the Grants. So.
Oh, okay, good enough. That's fine. And you're in Nashville, Tennessee, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't sound. You have no no trace of a dialect that I can tell from.
I'm from New York.
Okay. Yeah. Now that you mention it, you sound more like you're from New York. And
yep. I was born in Long Island.
Now I really hear it. And then when you said Long, just wow, that's incredible.
Long Island. Yeah.
Okay.
That's you have to say it that way, otherwise you're banned from everyone.
Oh, I did it right, so I'm not banned. Okay, well, we'll cover all that too. We'll cover your moves, to Oklahoma. I'm sorry, I did a show to Oklahoma last week. Forgive me, to Nashville. But also but obviously the main gist of the show is to talk about your comic strips and books and whatever. So let's do that. Tell me about what's Worthy Chaos. Let's sum it up in a couple of paragraphs, and then we'll break it down a little further. Go ahead.
Worthy Chaos is I don't know if you know the shows, but it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural.
Yep.
In Silent Hill and the Resident Evil world.
I may get to interview Adam Bush. He wants to do the show. He was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's all of that smashed into one.
Okay.
You have a heaven and hell war going on. You have two characters that are soulmates that don't know about it. An angel descendant and a demon descendant.
I don't know which one I should root for.
Yeah, I don't either. They're both sides are. Yeah,
they're both. It's all out bloodshed. I know, and fire, blood and fire. I guess.
Yeah,
Aston Booten, as they say, whatever, that's gibberish for Aston Fire. I just made it up, and that's pretty clever. Okay.
Yeah. So the characters Seraphina, who's an angel descendant, and Draven, who's a demon descendant, their fathers are after the angelic weapon that she was created from, and if they can get that, they can get the power of souls, and they can tip the scale of the war in their favor.
Okay.
There's a couple other reasons they want it, but those are for another time. But for now it's they're focusing on beating the war, and they want that. But the two characters don't know that's what they just think, that all this stuff is getting thrown at them when really there's a reason behind it. So we see it in the story. We see the fathers plotting against them and using them like pawns, but our two characters don't see their fathers doing this.
Oh, okay. Now this was totally created by you, correct?
So the story's created by me, but it's weird to explain, but it's a role play. So I write for Serafina and the story platform, and my co-writer writes for Draven. So you have two completely different personalities for each character.
Okay, so basically, it's almost like dueling writers, like dueling banjos, except
Yep.
in
Yep.
literature. Okay. Well,
So
the illustrate. Okay.
I lead the story, and then everything you read that Serafina says or does or thinks, that's me. And Draven, everything he says, does, and thinks is my co-writer. So when you read it, you can tell that these two people are completely different. We never write for the other person, and it gives a unique twist to the story that you're getting it to learn about these two characters.
Okay. Now, Serafina, is that your co-writer?
Serafina is my character.
Oh, okay. Well, when you say your character, did you create did you turn this into a film as well as just a
No, we role played it
Yep,
first.
yep.
So the story has we wrote 11 novels for it. They won't be released. We just wrote them for fun. We
Okay,
really got into the characters and the story. So we decided that 5 of them is this series 1, and we decided to turn it into a comic book series. So
okay,
it's already written. It's 45 issues for this series.
okay. Well, from what I'm seeing behind you, the illustrations look fabulous. Who does them?
This is my interior artist, Jonas DeCosta, and this is actually his first paid job for comics. This is his first time.
Well,
Um,
pay him well because he's doing well by you. It looks like
Amazing.
that's
Yeah,
great.
he's doing amazing, and he's learning as he goes, and each comic gets better, the art gets better and better. And he's just absolutely amazing with it. He's got great panel work. It's kind of like watching a movie, reading a novel, and getting to look at a comic book all in one, because the way he does panels, it's like watching a movie. And I actually had somebody who was criticizing it because they want to be paid to fix it. Oh, I can pay to fix it. He's like, you have too many panels. It's not a movie. And I was like, well, everyone loves the panels. It's like watching a movie in a still form, and it's like reading a novel, because you get the best part about reading a novel is you get inside the character's head. And in our comic book, we do have a lot of thought bubbles that you get to see what these characters are thinking while they're going through all of this, and the
Wow.
struggle. It's this struggle that they're going through emotionally and physically. You get to see it. So
Okay. Well, what was I going to say? So, oh, I lost my train of thoughts. Let me think here. You, all right. So, this is you role played it, but you never actually turned it into a film. But this guy illustrates it. So, I've noticed. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. I've noticed some of the artwork that you've posted on Facebook is a little bit risque. Bare butts and stuff, which I do enjoy if they're from what I've seen. You want to talk about? Does that have something to do with this? I assume it does, right? I'm guessing.
risque. I don't have anything risque.
Really? Okay, maybe I,
No,
I thought it was okay. All
there's no
right.
nudity in this whatsoever.
No nudity? Oh,
Nope.
I thought I saw nudity. All right. Maybe I'm just reading, no pun intended, reading it into it, reading into it.
I don't know. There's definitely no bare butts.
Okay.
Yeah, we have all adult themes except for nudity. There's cursing, there's gore.
Well, why no
Which
nudity? Nudity, at least nudity is, I mean, if you're gonna have adult themes, you might as well go the whole 9 yards, don't you think?
actually, believe it or not, I think we benefit from not having it, because we get a lot of people come up to us and say, can my kids read this?
Oh, right,
Oh,
right.
there's
Yeah,
a
but
lot
if
of
if the
cursing.
kids hear cursing, I mean, that's the same, isn't it? The
Yeah, they
same.
don't care about the cursing, and they don't care about the gore, but the parents are like, no, we don't care about any of that. Is there nudity? I'm like, no, there's no nudity. And then they'll buy it. So it's really
Okay,
weird.
as long as they buy it, that's what matters. All right, you know
Yeah.
what you're doing. You guys know what you're doing down there. All right.
We
And
might have some variant covers coming up that might be topless. Not our characters, because we're very protective of our characters. Maybe a side character. But the comic itself has absolutely no nudity in it. So,
okay. All right. Now, how long have you been doing this series for?
7 months.
Okay. All right. So I caught you at a good time. You're running your first up roll, as they say.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sweet.
We're
All right.
really fast. Well, we release it about every other month. So this is issue 5. Our Kickstarter is live on and we have our issue 6 is already done, and that'll be August 15th on a Kickstarter, and issue 7 started getting made today, and that will be October 3rd.
My birthday.
Yay, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, I won't forget. All right.
All right
Um,
then.
Okay, so all right, so tell me now. I'm going to profile you a little bit. I want to find out about your history. So you grew up on Long Island, I guess, and
Yep.
what were you like as a child, and how did it sort of lead you to what you're doing now?
So pretty much as a kid, I loved horror movies, starting from like the age of 6.
Yep,
Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was the first thing I ever saw. I
it
wasn't
was in the
supposed
'80s, I
to.
believe, right?
Yes, it was the
Okay,
80s. I was watching from the stairs and I got to see some of the movie. And then I grew up in the 90s, and my brother took me to a comic book store and I started reading Ghost Rider. So I was really into Ghost Rider,
okay,
and that was my favorite series throughout the 90s. And then I kind of got away from comics, but mainstream comics, and then I kind of was into the horror video games. So Resident Evil 2 was really big influence on me. I played it nonstop. I played all the Resident Evils. I read the books, the comics, everything. So I started when I learned about role playing, I started role playing as Claire Redfield from Resident Evil, and I actually role played her for 15 years before I started writing this story. So when I found my co-writer, we wrote, this is about 2.5, we've only been writing for 2.5 years. We're still writing.
okay.
We actually, I handed her a 15,000 word chapter 2 days ago. And that marked, we're over the 1 million words in this story written.
Wow,
Yeah.
you count the words. That's interesting. I know you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to do
yeah.
that. And this took you how long did it take you to write over 1 million words? 2.5 years? I guess that
About
makes
two
sense.
and a half years. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Now, when you say role playing, sorry about that. What exactly do you mean by role playing? I mean, you basically do like a you do like an person demonstration with you and your
No,
other people. Is that how it works?
it's
See,
all
just
written.
to get just to feel how. I mean, do you videotape your role playing so that you don't even do that? You just sort of
It's just writing. We write. So like I
you have a
started
bunch
this.
of people that watch you. Is that it, or how does that work?
No, it's just my co-writer and I.
Yeah.
So I will write a chapter about what's happening in the story and with the two characters and what's going on. And then when I'm done with the chapter, I send it to her. She'll go back and she'll write all of his reactions, his words to whatever she said, his thoughts of what he was thinking while this was happening, or any actions he might have done or fights or whatever. So she goes and gives you his perspective of what I just wrote.
Okay. Now you said him. You mentioned hers and hers and him. So what I'm thinking is one of the characters. I mean, obviously one is a female, one is a male. Is like the good angel, the female, and the bad demon, and male. Is that how that
Yeah.
works?
Yep.
Okay. But both of the writers are women, right? You and that other
Yep.
person. Okay.
Yep.
Just curious, why did you elect to do it like that? Is there a reason?
It's just
Just the way
how
it worked out?
that's just how role playing is. Yeah. Like 90% of it seems, and probably more now, but originally it was about 90% of the male characters in role play were written by females. Yeah.
Written by who?
Females.
Oh,
The
really?
males were
Okay.
written by females. Yeah. I don't know why. Like I think in 17 years now of role playing, I think I've probably role played with maybe 2 actual males playing male characters, and like everyone else was female writing the
Female.
male. Yeah.
Okay. So the writing team just consists of you and that other person, right? So far, after however,
Yes.
2.5 years,
Yeah.
you don't have anyone else on except for that illustrator that you.
We have the artist,
Yeah.
and then my brother and my best friend are the editors.
Okay. Now you mentioned you. I'm curious. Why did you move to Nashville or to Tennessee from Long Island? What was that for? Marriage,
So
I
I
guess.
I was in Long Island until I was like 10.
Okay.
Then my parents moved to Connecticut,
Okay.
and then 8 years ago, yeah, about 8 years ago, I moved to Tennessee because it's cheaper and less snow.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. You said no, but you said you married a Grant, so I'm wondering, is your husband part of the scenery too, or does he have any roles that do anything to do with the comic series with Worthy Chaos?
No, well, so he's in a band called Permissible Indulgence, and they actually wrote and performed our song for our characters, which is a download that you can get on our Kickstarter.
Okay.
So he wrote all the lyrics and he wrote all the background music. He plays the drums and the guitar, or the drums and the keyboard, and then his cousin does the vocals and the guitar. And so that's the song. When you play the song, the video, the background music is their music, and then one of the add-ons to the Kickstarter, you can download it, and there's an instrumental version and then a vocal version.
Well, I'm glad you told me he's in a band because now I'm going to say if once this show is done and if you had fun, I'm going to ask you to ask him and his band if they want to be on, and we can get them. They can perform on my show if they want. That's how I network and get more guests.
I would love to tell them that because they've been doing this over a year and they're still trying to get the music out there. They are amazing musicians. They write their own songs and they do everything on their own. So yeah, I will let them know.
Then. All right, and on that note, we're going to watch a little video of your Worthy Chaos, and then we'll be right back and talk about it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Oh, that was great, Corissa. What did we just watch? Discuss it, if you would, please.
So the first part of it is just giving you a little overview of issue 4 and 5 because the new things that happen in this issue is that we have our vampires, which are a little bit more unique than they're subspecies of vampires. Their heart beats every 6 hours, which is just enough to keep off rigor mortis. It makes their blood thicker. And
yeah, does it drop does it drop their urge for more blood or not?
Well, what it does is they have to have, because their blood's thicker, they have to actually feed directly from a human. They can't do blood bags. They can't do animals.
Well, as long as they don't hurt animals. I hate hurting animals.
Right? So I said the same thing.
Good. Okay.
But they also have it where if they taste your blood or bite you, they can track you anywhere you go, like a homing beacon.
Ouch.
And if you kill anyone in their family, they will hunt you down for revenge.
Wow.
So that's what happens in these issues. She, one attacks her, she kills it, and now they have to go on a hunt to get every single one of these vampires before they can track her down and get to her. Wow. So that's kind of what's happening here. So that shows you in the beginning of the video. The middle of the video is an animation of Anubis that somebody had done for me. And then it shows you a summary of 1, 2, 3 of the issues about how they got into the town. The town is merging with hell, so there's like different creatures that come out, like hellhounds, zombie mermen, and zombies, ghosts, and Anubis, and all that stuff. So it gives you a little overview of a summary of what's happening there. So
now, as we're discussing this concept of of the good versus evil, which is basically what it sounds like, you can't help but parallel it with our existence and with all the preaching that's done about good and evil in our own lives and stuff. And that's why I'm not sure who I'd want to win this battle, because I've been told I've been told by, I don't know if the sources are reliable, that I've been a horrible sinner for my whole life.
Well,
So,
if it makes you feel any better, in series 2, it's actually uh Egyptian and Greek culture against heaven and hell with my characters. So it's actually both heaven and hell are not on the good side. So you're fine. You're just live your
all right,
life.
as long as maybe I'd rather not to go to either. I'd rather just chill. I'd
Yeah.
rather just float
Yeah,
through
yeah.
space. When I die, I just want to float through space. Just
Yeah.
a, just a floating, just a peaceful floating soul with the stars with no, only, maybe with the perception of the quasars going around and around, and that's it. Nothing.
Yeah.
That would be my ideal idea for the afterlife if I could have it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
got
it would be good. No, no urges, no lust, any of that stuff, which I think we know we're going with here with that. So
Yeah.
obviously, do you have children?
No.
Okay, so that at least frees you up for that. Number one, it frees you up for this, and number two, it 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 eliminates any possibility of controversial material that if you did have children that you wouldn't want it to see,
Yeah, pretty
assuming
much.
that was the case.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's awesome. All right, so are you? So how long do you work on this every day? And have you been doing this for the past several months?
Yeah, I pretty much write every day. I'm either writing or converting to scripts. Right now
Okay,
we have I've converted to I'm in the middle of issue 18
okay,
scripting. And there's between 45 and 100 between 45 and 50 issues for this series. For the spin-off there's about between 40 and 50 issues depending. We just finished that book. The last book in that one, that's five books for that too. So
wow,
um but yeah, we pretty much write every day. And we work on multiple parts of the book at once. Like we were
okay,
working on the spin-off, we were working on book 2 and book 5 at the same time, because if we get an idea, we like jump to it. And then we
great.
kind of work at them at the same time. Yeah. So and then now that I just finished book 5 of the spin-off, I started book 1 of the second series for the spinoff, and we're already up to like issue 7 on Redemption series 2. So we're always working on at
Okay, so
least.
there is hope if no matter what happens, no matter how that battle ends for everybody. I assume that's what
Yeah.
you want to get. You want to keep people optimistic that are going to read it. I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on the side of my characters. Everyone else is not as good.
Now you see the backdrop behind me. This is
Yeah.
the local library here in town, and I can't help but think that from what you're telling me, you see all the books that are there. It seems to me, I have a hunch that you've probably written as many words as that are in all the compilation.
Probably.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Okay.
And that's only with my co-writer. Like, so I've been writing for, I'm dyslexic, so I started slow. I started as a one-liner when I role
Wow.
played. But yeah, I've gotten a little bit better.
Well, tell me about. I mean, how long you've been writing in general since you were a kid, right?
In general, since I was a kid, but
Yeah,
I never thought, like, it wasn't like one of those dreams, like, oh, I want to make a comic book or I
of
want to write a
course.
book. I just
I
really
never
like.
thought I'd be the greatest TV podcast host in the world, but look at me now. So I know how that
Oh,
is.
you're doing good. But yeah, so it wasn't something I'd planned it, but I didn't. It was so funny though, because in the middle of this series when we were doing, I was like, I said, I'm not talented with anything, but I'm such a great storyteller. I wish I could actually do something with this. And I never even thought of doing anything with it until we were done. I was like, this would be a great, comic book series. And it's gotten very good feedback. People love the dialogue. They love the
The illustrations too. I already love them.
illustration, the panel work. I mean, they love everything, about it so far. So I've gotten very good feedback on it. So I'm very lucky. We're still trying to get out there, we're still new. We just kind of jumped into it without any knowledge of what we were doing.
Well, I
So
know, but that's you learn bit by bit, trial and error. You
yeah,
put one foot in front of the other until you can walk right, or then you can
right.
fly right. And when it comes to marketing, now that we're talking about that, how have you gone about it so far? Just, I mean, have you have you had it reviewed by anybody? Have you got any media coverage at all down there on TV or in the press, in the
I
paper?
tried, but I haven't gotten into anything local. I contacted newspapers and stuff like that were local, and I never got anywhere. My local comic book store helps. They like we got a couple of customers that have our stuff on the list, so when new ones come in, they get it. But mostly it's been Kickstarter and podcasts, and that's about it.
Well, how many of those have you done so far? And you can include mine
Podcasts?
if you want, I suppose.
Um, Probably. So last campaign I did 42.
Okay.
And the campaign before that, I think I did 20. And then I've done maybe 15 so far this run. So somewhere around 75, 80 podcasts.
Okay. Wow. And all visual or both or audio?
I think all but me. I think all of them were video except maybe 3.
Okay, great. Well, guess what, Carissa? I hope you had fun with me because we're down in the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Okay, so what I want you to do in the remaining time is look at your computer there and just give a few shouts out to people that are going to see the show, condense them, and then we'll wrap the show up with my music the way we began it. So commence if you would, please, with that.
Who am I doing?
Shouts out, like if you can start with your husband, whoever's in your family, friends, whatever, your co-writer.
There's way too many people to list.
I know, I don't have to just go. You don't have to get them all.
Well, I'm grateful for my husband because I definitely couldn't do this without his support.
There you go.
My family has been surprisingly, amazingly supportive because my mother is not into horror or comics and she buys every single one of them. My brother, who collects comics for the last 40 years, was against me making it, but the second I made it was all for it, and now he buys every single one of them. And of course my co-writer is amazing. Jessica, she's a way better writer than I am. I'm very lucky to have her. And then my illustrator, of course, Jonas DaCosta, who has promised to stay on for the entire series until I have to lock him into a basement. He promises to stay on.
He won't have to if he stays on.
Yeah, well,
I promise you'll be fine.
Yeah, he was actually upset when I said, I wish you could do the spinoff. And he goes, why can't I? I was like, because you have 45 issues here. And then the series 2 is already got 7. So by the time you get to there, we're going to have another 100 probably. So, but yeah, so we need to find somebody for the spinoff if we decide to release that. But yeah, so I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for the everyone on Facebook. Like I'm on the Madness channel and everyone there.
I've never even heard it, but I got to find it now.
Madness channel is great. There's Pops and Lori and Rick, and they are just super supportive. They're always there for my launch. We have a live launch every Kickstarter.
Wow.
And I get very lucky that people attend that, and yeah, I'm very the whole indie community is absolutely amazing.
It is, and you're a big part of it, and I'm so glad I found you to do my show because this is what Topic Time is all about, and bringing the light, very talented people as you all are, as I can see and hear. And
yeah, I mean, all of the indie community is like, I had been like, my in-laws were like, don't you have a lot of competition with these? And I said, no, they support me more than anybody else. I mean,
yeah, it's not a cutthroat thing. I mean, because there's room for. There's not. I'll tell you one thing I've learned in my nearly 64 years on Earth. There's no injunction on creativity. You can have as much creativity as you can make. It's literally an eternal fundamental, if you will. I guess that's using fundamental as a noun. I think that you can never be too creative.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you had fun with me, what I'd like you to do is pass the word around about my show to anyone you want. You can start with your husband if you can get his band on the show. We'll get him on.
Yeah.
I can perform. I have a lot of musical guests, and you can do it by Zoom, obviously. And not just that, but anybody else in your team, any people that you know, just have an interesting story to tell. Just give them my digits. You have them now, and then I'll.
I will absolutely. Lori, who is my mentor and got me into this, the indie community. She has an amazing comic, Path of the Pale Rider.
Perfect.
And yeah, that's cowboys and zombies. You can't go wrong. And then Rob Matari has Nightwolf, and we're actually going to cross over with both of those. So I will absolutely tell them both.
All right. All right. Well, and then now I'm gonna a couple of things. First of all, when we finish up, would you stick around and do some pics for Facebook? And I want to make sure that your graphics are correct too, and I'll make sure of that. The second thing is don't forget to email that bit we just watched halfway so we can edit it in.
Sure.
All right. On that note, we're going to wrap it up. You ready to rock and roll at the end?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, folks. Half of the 2023 and Topic Time Nation is behind us. Wait, the second half's going to be even better, as if that's possible. So we're wrapping it up. See you in July. Signing off. We are.